So on this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically draw this as a contour drawing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to emphasize weight, right? Wherever I need it to look a little heavier, or I want it to look like it's a little bit darker, I'm going to do thicker and thinner lines. Okay, here, let me get that off the page. So, I would recommend using your ink pens for this one. So I'm just grabbing one with like a brush tip, and you can see it right there. See, it's a little brush tip. It's a flexible tip on the marker. Okay. And again, what it'll let you do is that, if you don't push down with a whole lot of pressure, you get this thin line. And then, of course, if you push down more pressure, you can get thick lines. So it lets you, adjust how thick or thin the line is. And so a thicker line is going to look darker, and a thinner line will look lighter. So we look at this little stapler here. You can tell the light's kind of beaming more from the top. And so you'll see spots where, like here, there's a shadow, there's just certain areas that it's got a little more weight. Like I said, it's a little more in shadow. So that's where you can use thicker lines, and then wherever it's got more light, you can use the really thin lines. You can even have the lines kind of break. And so again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this little stapler, and we'll see how how it comes out. But again, it's like doing the contour drawing. I'm going to go really slow. And ink is just kind of funny. It's not all that forgiving at times. It's actually really fun to draw with. Let's just see, and I kind of, again, drew that form up there. And so then what ends up happening as as I get to draw this here, like right there is where I can put this like big heavy line. So it's like there, okay. My angle's a little different than it is on the camera. I'm actually seeing a little bit of the underside of the plastic here, where it kind of wraps back in. Okay. And actually I'm sort of seeing, there's a bit of a shadow up here too that comes across. So, same thing there, but then what happens is that I'm seeing a little more of a shadow. So I can get a little heavier there. Okay. And then the bottom piece, like right in here. So you can see I'm trying to, not let the pen touch the paper too heavy. And it's a little darker there. It's okay if the line's a little thicker. Then right there, again, I would say that gets a little heavier. Okay. And then the underside, it's a little more in shadow, so I'm not exactly trying to mash the brush into the paper, but I'll go ahead and let it, touch with a little more pressure. Okay, and so like right in here, there's that real heavy shadow. So if I really wanted to come in and really thicken this up, I could, make it like a really thick line there. And on the inside, there's that little piece of plastic. It's a little more in shadow. I can go ahead and let that be a little bit thicker. It's a little thinner there where the light catches it. And there's that little rectangular piece there. And so this all tends to be in shadow pretty heavily. So I'm going to put some heavy lines down. Okay, and from my angle, I see a bit of the bottom too. So there's a little metal piece. I'm just going to not draw it on here so I can, again, sort of show that heavy line. I'm going to kind of skip that little metal piece that's there, but oh, there we go. Okay. And so again, with this one, when you're drawing a line weight drawing, you're more or less trying to show what the light's doing, and you're just doing it as a line drawing. We're not going to shade or blend or, smudge things around. And that's why I like I think it's actually kind of more fun, and it's better to do this with a brush pen, like the brush pen marker, because then you can just focus on thick and thin lines. And that's it. So we still get a sense of the light source. And then here we are with some heavier lines, and of course some thin lines wherever it's brighter. Okay.